Okay, so our answer, we do our little rearranging here. And when I say rearranging, basically these two switch places, flip-flop sides. Then we take out a y, and then we divide by this parentheses, right? So our answer ends up being, note my notation, the answer ends up being negative x minus 8 over 2x minus 3. How many of you got that on your own? That's really good. You remember from when we did that before. Those of you that didn't get that, guaranteed test question, come on. Now, try this one, which is easier. It's the same problem, but it's easier. You're going to have two of them on your test. One's going to be harder, and one of them's going to be pretty easy. Switch the variables, just like before. Switch the variables. Now, what would you do once you got the variables switched? 4x equals 8y minus 3. See why it's easier? You're just multiplying by 4, not this whole parentheses. It's just 4. You're getting this by yourself, or by itself. That's easy. There's only one y. So add 3 and divide by 8. And then write it with your function notation. What do we have to do that for? Because the directions say find f inverse. That's what we do. Everybody good with that? All right, so what's next? Okay, see if you can remember from yesterday. There was some of this in your homework, but we never really did many problems like it in our notes, but we talked about it yesterday. We want to know if these guys are inverses. And I really want you to think about doing it the way that I asked you to yesterday. Does anybody remember what that is? What did we do, Burkhart?
You plug in a random value into x.
So pick a random number.
So I chose 2.
2. So he picked 2, and so he comes up here and he puts 2 into his f. Okay? And then out will come 7. And this is a random choice, whatever number you want to pick. You put it in, you're going to get an answer. Now what, Burkhart?
And then you plug in 7 for g.
Exactly.
And the answer has to be the value that you plugged into that.
So now we're putting the 7 back into the g. And look what happens. We get 7 minus 3 over 2, which is what? 4 over 2, which is 2. What does that mean?
It is.
They are inverses. They are inverses because when you plugged in 2, you got 7. And when you plugged in 7, you got 2. Yes. So this work is kind of an explanation. Well, without all my those big things in there.
So I was putting words when it says why or why not.
You can say, I put 2 into F, I got 7. And when I put 7 into G, I got my 2 back. That's what it means to be inverses. When you build the composition, remember the composition where you take an answer from one function and plug it into another one. When you end up with what you started with, you have inverses. All right, 9 is the easiest question on the test. You're finding an ordered pair, x comma y, and they tell you that t is negative 2. So what does that mean if t is negative 2? So what does x turn out to be?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Guys, everybody got it? We're just letting t be negative 2 because he says 2. What's y then? 4. There you go. Done. Easy. Easy. Now the next one says, I've got these 2 equations, and I need to find the direct algebraic relationship between x and y, which means what? You remember? What does that mean? Get one equation and no t's.
find the t value for it.
So we'll take one of these two equations and get t by itself. I would do this one because it's easier, but it really doesn't matter. So don't sweat it. Just pick one and get t by itself. So if I get t by itself, t equals 2i, because I'm just multiplying both sides by 2, right? And then I take that guy right there and plug him in right there. So x equals 4 minus 2 times 2i. So x equals 4 minus 4y. And of course, if we wanted to be the best we could possibly be, we would write that as x plus 4y equals 4. But I will give you full credit if you get that right there, because you have done what you needed to do. You got one equation and no t's, and it's reasonably simplified. This is better because this is a recognized form of a line. This is called standard form, and so that's why that's better. Okay, now here's another one of these kind of tricky ones. So I want you to look at the two pictures I drew there, and this time you can tell where the axes are. They're labeled so you can tell. And you are going to tell me how the picture changed in words. So tell me in words, what are some things that happened here?
Move down to.
What do you mean flip?
Upside down.
Upside down? All right, let's use that terminology. It's upside down. What else? So it is, can we tell how many times taller it is? 2 times taller? And it went down 2. Would everybody agree with those 3 things?
Yes.
So your job is to write one of these equations
Thank you.
that reflects upside down, 2 times taller, and down 2. All right? So how do we deal with upside down?
Negative out.
Negative out in front, right? How do we make it twice as tall? How do we multiply the height?
Negative 2 out.
Put a number out here, right? So that's a negative 2 out in front. How do we make it go down 2?
Minus 2 after the parentheses.
Minus 2 on the end. Plain old x in there. So you have negative 2 f of x minus 2. That's your equation. If you write down the words, I think it's easier for you to build the equation, but of course this is what I'm grading. Another one, down the tubes. Here we go. Last one, practice test 3. We're going to get done as much as we can. This one is spread out, so it's exactly the same number of problems, but it's more in test format for you. Now keep in mind that the tests are different, so not everybody's first page is going to look like this, but everybody's going to have those problems, okay? So here we go. Find the inverse. Let's not miss this one. What do we have to do? Switch the variables and get y by itself. So subtract the 7, divide by 4, and then your f inverse, your inverse is x minus 7 over 4. It's that easy. Now, let's say I wanted to check that, because it's my test, I want to pass. Let's say I want to check it. If I pick the number 2, and I put it into the original problem, what do I get if I put a 2 in the original problem? 15? So then I'm going to come down to my answer. What should happen when I put in 15? I better get 2, right? That's what it means to be an inverse. 15 minus 7 is 8, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. So I have the right answer. That's like a check for me. Okay, now we have the larger problem. Still pretty easy, but it has more steps. don't know my calculator.
It wasn't.
Okay.
Definitely was.
All right. Now, step one. Don't forget step one. What is the very first thing I have to do?
Change variables.
You okay back there? All right, I'm going to switch the variables. Sam, what happens next?
Then we multiply it, so it'll be 3xy plus 4x.
Whoa, Sam distributed when he multiplied. Did he do that right? Perfectly allowed. It's a little scary for some of you to do 2 steps at once, but if you want to, you can. All right. Now what happens? Brendan, you awake, sweetheart? Okay, well, let's keep our head up and pay attention. What happens now? Maddie Claire, what do I do?
Switch the 4x and
Yep, gotta switch places here so that all of the y's are together on the same side. Right? Haley, what's next? Take out a y. Because we're only allowed to have one y. So we're going to pull it out. Izzy, last step almost. What do I have to do?
You have to put the 3x minus 2 underneath the -4 and then change the y to the fx.
Yep, very good. She's got it. She says, if I got to divide to get y by itself, and then change into my function notation. Everybody okay? Listen, I know this is boring, especially after we've already been through it once. But why are we doing it? So we can know it. That's right, so we can know it. Don't tell me, football players, don't tell me that running those drills doesn't get boring. Actors and actresses, don't tell me that running the lines doesn't get boring. But you have to do it over and over and over. All right. Number 2. All right, now wait. Number 2. Given f of x, I sketched it right. All right, I'm going to do b first. I'm going to do b first. So here's the sketch that I gave you. This is just like taking the test, folks. There's the function. Now I'm going to sketch the inverse. So I'm going to label all these points. Not forgetting the origin, of course. And now I'm going to sketch that. Okay, so 0, -3. -1, -2. Okay, so there, this is my inverse. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
So now, listen, there's only one question. Is the inverse a function?
No.
So we're looking at this right now. Is the inverse a function? No. Why not? Doesn't pass the vertical line test. Right? And then there's this question 3. Create your own function that is not 1-to-1. All right, so let's just, okay, think of a shape. What shape do you want? A circle. Somebody said a circle. Now, the problem with that is that a function?
No.
No. So you need to create a function. So what if I had this? Is that a function? Yes. Now, is it 1-to-1? No, because it does not pass the horizontal line test. Very good. What's another one? A diagonal line. Okay, now it says create one that is not one-to-one. So, it says not. So a diagonal line is one-to-one, right? So if you have a test that says create a picture that is one-to-one, that would be an example. That is one-to-one. This one is not one-to-one. To be one-to-one, nothing can repeat. Look at this point right here and this point right here. This might be the point -3,2, and this is the point 3,2. See this right here, guys?
Yes.
Can't happen. If you're one-to-one, nothing can repeat. So in this point right here, nothing would repeat. If you labeled all of these, you would have no repeats at all. All right, let's see if we can get the next page done. All right, find, okay, this is easy. What is the ordered pair if t is -2?
That'll be
11, very good. And 4. There it is, 11, comma, 4. Now, if you on the surface of the table, okay? You'll leave in May, but I have to stay, so I want to keep my table straight. Well, there's no need to be doing that, Toby. Come on, you know better. All right, so everybody got number 4, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Find the direct algebraic relationship between these two, or between x and y. All right, so here we go. What did we say we were going to do? Get a t by itself. So you can do it up there or down here. I think I'll just divide both sides by 3.
Yeah.
So t equals y over 3. Now I'll take that and put it in here. So x equals 1 plus 6 times y over 3. Well, what's 6 over 1 times y over 3? 6y over 3, which reduces to 2y. So once again, I have x equals 1 plus 2y, which is fine, but would better be written like this. But this is fine. I don't want you sweating that. I don't want you being nervous about that.
Yep, I'm just trying to do it that way.
All right, let's look at figure 1 and figure 2. Look at them carefully. What has happened?
Moved up 1.
Okay, so one thing that's happened is it's up 1. Do we have a sideways flip? It looks like.
Wait, yeah. Wait, no.
We only got up 1. Is that all that happens? It's a sideways flip and up 1. Okay, so what does that equation look like? Mr. Willis, do you need someone? Yeah, he's right here. Go, Brennan, go. So y equals, all right, how do I do a sideways flip?
Negative.
A negative on the x. No, I don't think so. A negative on the x. And then how do I do up 1? Plus 1. Now what I want you to do is lower this picture down 1. Wouldn't it be exactly the same as this one except flip sideways? Yeah. Yeah. So that's all that happened. Right there is your answer. What you can do Okay, the test is pretty short, you have plenty of time. What you can do is turn around and graph this equation and see if it matches the picture. If it doesn't, then you got the wrong equation. All right, are these two things inverses, why or why not? So, somebody said yes. Yes or no doesn't cut it. You gotta have some work and some explanation. So, pick what?
Yeah.
Let's pick 100. All right, we can pick 100. I wouldn't, but if you want to, you can. If I pick 100 and put that in there, I get 200 minus 5, which is 195. Then if I take the 195 and put it in the other equation, I get 195 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 100.
Let's go.
All right, let's get our box done, and that's probably all we can get to. We'll have to finish the rest on Monday. Or you can do it on your own, better yet. So number 8, we have a box. The paper is 12 by 20. We're cutting out corners. What is the equation for the volume?
12 minus x.
12 minus what?
X.
No! 12 minus 2x. You are taking an x off each end, right? So 12 minus 2x, 20 minus 2x, x. Dimension minus 2x, dimension minus 2x, x. What's my domain? X will always be between 0 and, in this problem, 6. Half the smallest dimension. Now, when you go to type this in, kids, on your calculator, make sure you're typing in this equation. You got to change the equation that's in there right now. Make it this. Change your window. The 0 won't change, but the 6 will have to change. After you hit graph and a picture pops up, then you'll want to do second calc. Set your left bound and right bound, take a guess, and it says what for the maximum volume? 262.68 inches cubed. Cubic inches. All right, restaurant meal, $16.75. We got a 7% tax and a 15% tip. These are both ads. So we're going to multiply by 1.07 and by 1.15. And we are going to get as our answer, hopefully $20.61. Is that right? One more. Come on, you got it. 2?
There we go.
Yeah.
I'd love to do 2.
We can do
I'd love to have you to stay and finish this with me. We don't have anything important going on, do we? Not more important than this for sure. All right, our percentages are 0.23, 0.52, and 0.35.
Yep. I agree with that.
We have 30 ounces up to 52%, so I'll match that up. Question says how much of that, so I'll put an X there. X plus 30 goes here, 30 plus X goes here. And now you're just gonna solve it, right? And you have the answers on the back, so you can either solve it and check your answer to make sure you are right. Okay, I don't see you tomorrow unless you come to class. Also, we have open gym on Sunday. So, if you are still struggling, you have opportunities. Oh wait, it's our Friday, stop, in the name of the law. Don't be.
What?
Stop. Well, you never know because you know you're turning your actual paper in with your rough draft. So I would just take, thank you. I would just take like whatever. Yeah. I wouldn't risk it.
Figure it out.
Because actually, I think she only takes like 10% off every day. It's either 10 or 5%.
I think
Take it off. Let's just turn something on time and we have to do that, right?
Papers there look like yours. Those papers there's yours?
No, these are the things I just handed out, said hang on to them. No, Pete, it's not funny, these are seniors.